What's going on, everyone? Hello, trading world. My name is Manuel Bueno, and welcome back to another instant funding interview. Today, we're gonna get to know Nnamdi. He has a 100K account, trades indices only, and we're super excited to hear his story. Let's dive into it. Good evening, trading world. Welcome back to another instant funding interview. My name is Manuel Bueno, and we got a new trader here with us today. We got Nnamdi. Nnamdi, how you doing today? Welcome.
I'm blessed, Manuel. How are you, brother?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good, man. First off, congratulations. We spoke before, and you told me this is your first interview, so congratulations. We're gonna get to know your story, but I for sure know that this is a milestone, and it feels like you've reached a reward for
Yeah.
such a battle. So first off, congratulations, man, and it's we're proud of you, and it's a pleasure to have you here with us. So tell us your name and tell us where you're from.
So my name is Nnamdi, uh, and I'm originally from Dallas, Texas, from the states.
Okay. How long you been trading for now?
So I started back in 2020. So 2020 is when I started trading.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice. Soon as the year started, halfway through the year.
Like summertime, because COVID kind of happened around like April time, like around that time, like March,
Okay,
April,
okay,
started getting
okay.
big.
So
Yeah.
peak pandemic, you started.
Yeah.
Nice, nice, nice. How did you end up hearing about trading, getting into trading? How was the curiosity sparked?
So it's funny because I almost got recruited into an MLM.
Okay.
Right? And so everyone, who's watching probably knows what an MLM is.
Right.
But and so what it is that they recruit you and then they make commission off the recruitment. They don't really teach trading, I mean, in my opinion. But a high school friend of mine almost got me recruited into one. And then before, when they finished the whole PowerPoint or whatever, he was like, okay, this is how much it is. Are you going to pay crypto or use a card? And at the time, I had zero money in my bank account. So I'm like, I had no money to give. But in my mind, I'm like, I can probably learn this for free. Right. And so I declined and I moved on from there. And as soon as I got off the call, I went straight on YouTube and just started studying, bro.
Okay. So before the presentation you were invited to, you had any knowledge about investing, trading? Does your family come from that area?
Right. So I do have a tiny bit of investing knowledge, like utilizing Robinhood or like Charles Schwab.
Okay.
My dad is a wonderful, great man. He knows a lot about investing and a lot about the economy. And he's been telling me ever since I was a kid. But like you're a kid, so you don't really understand that stuff. So you're like, okay, yeah, whatever, whatever. But like now,
Okay.
looking back at it, I'm like, man, he was really putting me on game.
Okay. So he's been telling you, he's told you about it.
Yeah.
You should get into it, look
Uh,
into it. Yeah. Okay. How old are you now?
so I'm currently 23.
Currently 23. So we're talking what, like 19 when you
Yeah,
were this presentation?
that is correct.
Okay. And around what time did your dad start telling you about investing?
Man, since like I was like 16, 17, bro.
Okay. So just nothing to do with, but do you ever have like almost like a sense of regret? Like, man, I could have had, 3 years of extra experience,
Mhm.
at 19 instead of starting, I could have been, like, I don't know, kind of maybe successful already.
Could have, yeah. I mean, a tiny bit of regret, of course, but I can't change the things that have happened in my past because it's turned me into who I am today. So
Right.
I am
Right.
blessed for having a father like him, but
Right.
he's given me more game ever since when I was actually locked in. So
Okay. So 19 we declined the MLM presentation. We go straight to YouTube. What happens? What's the next step from there?
straight to YouTube, I'm just searching up how to trade. It was first foreign exchange, so it was forex, right? I started with forex, and now I trade indices,
Okay.
right? So it was like how to trade forex, right? And then that got me into the candlestick Bible, and then that got me into market structure, and that got me into smart money trading and a whole bunch of just information. Like I went from the alligator strategy, moving averages, RSI, MACD. I was all over the place.
Okay,
So
so we're studying.
yeah,
So is that all 2020? The rest of 2020 played out. You just kind of like getting on the chart, studying, no type of trading yet.
No type of trading, just straight studying, demo trading a little bit here and
Okay,
there. And then I used a website called IG.com. That was the first website that I used to actually demo trade.
okay,
I put real money in there, like $50, and
okay.
the Nasdaq, and I made like $50 in like 5 seconds. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
right.
bro, the
Yeah,
dopamine hit, the dopamine
right.
hit after that, the adrenaline. I'm like, all right, bet. And then I went in again. I lost everything after that.
Okay,
So
that was your first time live trading.
it was 2020. Yes, it was that
Okay,
same year, but later that year, like around
okay. So like end of the year then.
yeah,
Okay, so when that happened, right? You made the 50. You see the potential. This is real. I just made $50.
mm,
And then same day you lose it, same week, same. When
same
did
day.
that happen? Same day?
Yeah, same day.
Okay. Okay, so couple minutes, hours later, you
Oh God.
lose it. So what are you thinking now that your account is zero, maybe even negative?
In regards to that time,
Yeah,
so
at
right
that
now
moment.
I'm thinking like, okay, if I was able to make that much and lose that much in such a short amount of time, like, what if I actually put my full on energy and time and focus into this so that I can at least minimize my losses but maximize my gains? So that's
Okay.
what I first initially thought, and so that's what really got me in. Like, as soon as I would wake up in the morning, I wouldn't brush my teeth, I wouldn't do nothing. I'd go straight on YouTube and study, bro. It was
Yeah.
that I was that crazy, you know.
Okay, so to wrap up 2020, you finally fund up $50
Yeah,
live trading, and as soon as you flip your account, you lose it.
yeah,
So this is real that it works, but this is real that it could take everything also.
yes, yeah.
Okay. So it's a brand new year, 2021. What does this year look like?
So 2021, it was definitely a different mindset. I wanted to, for sure, because at this point in time, I was the only one trading. I knew nobody who was trading, honestly, at this time. I had no friends in high school or in college who were trading. That one friend who tried to invite me to the MLM, we just cut ties. We never really spoke with each other. So it was really just solo. It was all just
Okay.
solo. And so I came into 2020 saying I want to actually solidify a strategy. I want to not, I was thinking about, I think I actually got into mentorship. I did get into mentorship, but it was not like no MLM stuff. It was like he was the same age as me, but he was making tens and thousands and all that sort of stuff. And it was
Right.
actually through trading. And so I started trading his type of strategy. It didn't really work for me. I got really confused. I was like asking him hella questions, all that sort of stuff. But 2021 was pretty much like that whole mentorship year, and that taught me a lot about the scalability of trading.
Okay. So did we fund up again in this year? Did we try again? Did
Yes, yeah.
Okay. And how did that go your second time?
So this time it was $100 in 2021 towards the end of the summer. So before that school year, before I was about to go to school, I went from
Okay.
100 to 250, scalping the Nasdaq, right?
Okay.
And I'm like, okay. And at this time, my psychology is still like, it's not solid. My
Okay.
psychology was not solid. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just keep going. I'm gonna just keep stacking, stacking, stacking. I could have just taken, the 150 out, the profit out, right? And
Right.
could have done it with something that I'm like, you know what, I want to continue to keep going. And that was again, blown the account. It happened.
Right. So when you go from 100 to 150, right? Is this a strategy? Are you kind of just is it just like a 50-50? Like how was it luck? How do you feel you were able to flip that account that you had?
So it was definitely 50-50 at the time. This was when I was learning under that mentor. It was
Okay.
just utilizing support and resistance, like support and resistance lines on the higher time frames, and then going on the lower time frames. And just as soon as it would tap that line or that support or resistance, you would wait like a couple seconds. And if it starts rejecting, then you would buy or sell. And then, it was really a 50-50 like luck type strat.
Okay.
It was stressful, bro.
But you picked this up from that mentorship you were at.
Yeah.
Okay. But it was working, but it really wasn't working at the same time.
It was not reliable. It wasn't
Okay.
sustainable.
Okay. So we're back at so end of the year again, blown account again.
Mhm.
So did we just call it a year when you lost this $250 account?
I honestly, I kept going, man. Like I took a break. I did take a break. I've taken a couple breaks ever since then. But I took a break, just like a month off. But I'd still go on the charts to see what price is doing. Like
Okay.
I was still looking on the charts, but I just did
Yeah.
not put any money in. Focused
Yeah.
on school. I didn't even have cash to backtest and buy like TradingView or any of the other programs you can backtest
Okay.
with. So I just scroll past price and just backtest using just okay I would do this and then that. But yeah,
Yeah, you just got the bug in you. You just
yeah,
you got to be on the charts.
yeah, bro.
Okay. So before you get to instant funding, before you find this, we'll talk about how you found this. I assume you try other prop firms.
Yes,
Okay. I assume those fail.
yes.
Okay. So what made you, without names, what made you decide to try the prop firm route instead of the live trading that you were used to?
I believe it was a video that I watched that I forgot who it was. It might have been Lamba Raul.
Okay.
But I think he was talking about how like prop firm trading was the quickest way to hit 10K a month, right?
Okay.
And so that just reels you in.
Right.
And so I'm like, okay, what is prop firm trading? And so I researched it. I did my study. I was literally like for 3 hours looking up videos, reading articles, and I'm seeing all these people who are making like payouts for money that they didn't really own, obviously, right?
Right.
And so it got me intrigued. And so and at that time, this was I think 2022, I believe. Yeah, 2022 when I started actually going into the prop firm route. I was working a job, so I actually had money to spend on an account, right? And yeah, so that's what kind of started the prop firm route for me.
Okay. Were you able to pass any of them in this process when you started?
Okay, yeah, I passed one. So the
Okay.
total of all the prop firm accounts that I have had in my past,
Yeah.
I've had five. I've had five prop firm accounts in total. This right
Okay.
now, my live one that I have with instant funding is my sixth one.
Okay.
So the five, all of them blown, but I've passed one. I passed one of the
Okay.
five, and that same day, no, not the same day. It was the next day. I lost it. I blew it.
Mm.
Yeah, I was, bro. Like I tell all my friends now who are in trading, like, bro, it was the worst week of my life, bro. Like,
Yeah.
it was crazy.
What size account was it at that time?
I believe that was 100K. It was
Okay.
either
Oh man,
100K or
that hurts.
50K.
Hurts
Yeah.
even more. When they're that big, it hurts even more.
Oh, oh
So
God.
when you passed it, did you ever get to the actual funded account? Did they give you like the credentials for the funded account?
Yes, yes. They gave me
Okay.
everything.
Okay. So we did it.
Yeah,
We did it. We
yeah.
passed it. We got
I
the
was telling
account.
my mom, bro. I
Yeah.
was
Okay. Yeah. I just
everybody.
wait till I get this first 10% payout. Right.
God,
Yeah. Yeah.
everybody.
Okay. Cool. So you blow it. What, the same day you get it? The next day
The
you get
next
it?
day, the next day.
Next day. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this was the first day trading with it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How how did that happen?
Bro, I think it was just like it was the psychology, of course. And
Okay,
at
hold
the
on.
time, say,
Pardon me. You When you pass this account,
yeah,
do you have a set strategy now? Do you know what you're kind of like doing? And
yeah. I knew what I was kind of doing,
okay,
but
we-
I was still like, I would still take erratic trades. You
okay,
know, I would still take trades that I shouldn't have been taking, but they
okay,
would sometimes win.
right,
So I was not solid, but I
okay,
had something. I had some foundation.
right. But the were you confident in the strategy you were using at the time?
I was honestly 50-50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It was so okay. So cool. So you get the account. So when you get the account, right? Because I trade myself, right? And just asking from my point of view, the times when you do get that new account, you kind of start doubting yourself a little bit, right? Dan, did I do it by luck? Was it lucky? Was it, like you can't really like process it. So when you first get this account, do you recall what you're feeling?
I did have some sort of when I got the count. I was first, obviously excited. I was definitely excited. I'm like, I grinded for this. I prayed for times like this. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
so, um, but after the fact, I kind of got a little bit fearful. I was like, what if I lose it? What if this happens? What if that happens? And this was the night before I actually lost it. So that whole thought process that I had in my mind ended up coming into fruition.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. So you open your position this trading day and walk me through that.
So this was on Nasdaq. I remember the trade. It was a Nasdaq buy off of a demand, and
Okay.
so this is when my cousin got me into supply and demand trading,
Okay.
and that absolutely changed my whole perspective on like price action. And so I got in on a demand play. It failed. I risked like I had like so for this specific prop firm, I had a 5% daily drawdown rule.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm like, okay, you know what? I know this trade is gonna go well. So I did like I think I did a 2% risk, lost it. And when you lose it,
Okay.
you're like, okay, I'm gonna get it back. I'm gonna get it back. And
Okay.
then I can go in through all the gory details, but
Right.
I did not
So
get it back.
you took this first 2% loss. You respected it. I risked 2%. You accept your loss. You close it.
That's not what happened.
Okay. So what happens?
I kept going, bro. I kept, I'm like,
Yeah, but this first trade you take, you lose the 2%, and now you're negative 2% on the account just
right, yeah,
for a moment.
yeah,
For a moment. Okay.
yeah,
So we enter again. You enter a brand new setup, a different setup. Are you chasing the same trade?
yeah. I was chasing the same trade.
Okay, chasing the
Yeah,
same trade.
yeah,
So you buy again.
yeah.
Okay. What are we risking this second time?
This time it was again 2%. I was not
Okay.
smart with my risk at all.
Okay. So either we make the 2% back or we just lose this account. Right? Yeah. Right. Yeah. It happens. It gets to there.
It doesn't
Right.
connect. It doesn't make sense, right? It
Yeah.
doesn't make sense.
Yeah. No, I lost this 2%. So you know what? Let me either lose the account and get it back. And you
That's
forget
literally
you
what
forget
it is.
everything you've been through to get it.
Yeah.
So you find instant funding. What attracts you from the different prop firms you found to instant funding?
So it was actually my current trading partner who put me on. He did some research. I don't know if he found this from an ad. I don't know if he found instant funding from an ad or if it was like from a Google search. But he was like, "Yo, they got one phase. They got a one phase account." I'm like, "Wait, for real?" Because I only thought it was just two phase.
Right.
It was just a two phase deal. And
All right.
so as soon as I saw the one phase, I'm like, "Bro, yes, let's do
Yeah.
it." I said no. I did not even hesitate. I mean, I looked at the rules, all that sort of stuff. It was a 3% daily drawdown rule, 10% max drawdown rule. I took the smart one. I don't think y'all do smart accounts no more.
Right.
I took the smart one, and I'm like, all right, let's go. And so
Right.
it was a great decision. And yeah,
Okay. So you find instant funding. You get you. This is the account you have now. You pass your first time.
yes, yeah,
Nice. Okay. So how do you get this account, right? You're excited. You don't have to worry about what is it, like an extra 3% compared to a two phase.
yeah.
So how do you enter this specific challenge? How do you feel in your journey? How do you feel, just overall?
Overall, how I felt like the initial part of it. Okay, so the
Right.
initial part of it. So this was definitely a lot earlier this year. So this is earlier this year. I've wisened up. My psychology was a lot better. I had a solid strategy, and at this point in time, I was under another mentorship, and that actually did help me a lot. That mentor, he was always one on. He was a really good mentor. He's one on one. He would text quick, through Telegram. He
Okay.
would actually help me with questions every time I would have a question, and that's what I would use during the phase. And so at that point, um, we just kept losing, and so it went all the way down to like 8% drawdown, right? So it was really deep in drawdown, and I'm like, bro, like something's not right, something is not right, and like it felt like a blur, honestly, even though it was just earlier this year, but you know, it was definitely a crazy time, and so we just had to reassess, took a break, and then we actually switched strategies,
Okay.
which is something I don't normally do nowadays. But I was like, you know what, I'm tired. I'm tired of being tired. I'm tired of giving the money back to the market. And so this was weird, but we ended up finding, or my trading partner at his work ended up, someone spoke about him about trading. Like, he was, me and him, we worked at the same place. We
Okay.
backtest on our laptops when we have the time. Somebody saw him backtesting on his laptop, and that sparked a conversation. And
Okay.
so she helped us out. She was making like 8 to 10K a month. She was doing her thing. And so she gave us her strategy, and then we implemented it, back tested it on a daily, grinded it out. And that's what helped me actually pass the account, you know?
The
So,
account that was at -8%.
yes, yes,
So you make 18% on this account now.
yes, bro.
Okay. So it man. So how does it this is a brand new strategy, but is how long was the break you took of not touching it to touching it again?
Okay, that's a good question. I believe it was like a three, like a 2 to 3, like 2 month hiatus or something.
Okay.
I think at the
Okay.
time it was so deep in drawdown that we both went back to another prop firm
Okay.
and traded that prop firm, and then
Okay.
that ended up blowing. And then I'm like, you know what? Hey, I still got my instant funding account.
Okay.
Went back on that, and I'm like, it gave me like the warning, like, oh, inactivity for 30 days, or it'll remove, deactivate. And I'm like, okay,
Okay.
okay. Went back onto it, activated again, and started trading it, and then
Okay.
she wrote.
So you start chipping away at this 8%.
Yeah.
You start chipping away, you start chipping away. The strategy is obviously working.
Yes.
Was this the strategy you tried on the prop firm before coming back to instant funding?
No, actually, no. When on instant funding, when I got back was when we
Right.
implemented the new strategy.
The new strategy.
Yes.
Okay. So you're still try a old strategy on the previous prop firm.
Mm-hmm.
So we come back to this drawdown account with a brand new strategy.
Mm-hmm.
You're
Mm-hmm.
confident. You've obviously back tested it.
Yep.
Okay.
This was
So
during the summer. This was in June.
okay. So now we're you know what? Let's do it. Let's
Yeah.
let's chip away. So you chip away. You pass it. How long does it take you to from -8 to +10% to pass the account?
I think it took 3 weeks. I think
Three
it
weeks.
took 3 weeks.
Okay.
So quicker than the previous prop firms, which is crazy.
Okay. So share. I'm gonna ask you to share your screen with us,
Sure.
and we're gonna look at your current live account that you got out of drawdown and passed.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let me get my screen. Is it sharing my screen? All right. So it ain't pretty right now, but this is where I'm
Yep.
currently at.
Okay.
So this is the $100,000 phase live. About I got almost 0.85% left, but
Okay.
you know, I'm chilling. I've already had two
Yep.
payouts so far,
Okay.
and this is the highest I've been on the account, which was my most I've ever been paid out ever. It was my very first payout. It was a $4.7 thousand payout, and then after that, that's where we're at.
Right. So you get this your first payout,
Mm-hmm.
4K payout.
Mm-hmm.
Does that is overall you're what about 4 years, 3.5 years of trading at this time?
Yeah,
Does that cancel out your previous losses, your prop firms, or does this make you like break even almost
it cancels out everything,
everything?
100%.
Okay,
Not
so how does that moment feel when the payout hits? This is your first payout from any prop firm,
Mm-hmm.
correct? Okay,
Yes.
so you get 4%. Okay, it's not real till it hits my account.
Yeah.
So it finally hits. Walk me through that emotion.
So I honestly thought I was dreaming. Like, I'm like, this isn't real. I was telling my trading partner, like, yo, this is not real. I was telling my mom, like, I sent a screenshot to my old mentor because we still keep in touch, and I'm like, bro, this doesn't feel real. I've never made internet money like this before. Like,
Yeah,
I've been
right,
grinding for
right,
four
right.
years for this, and it just doesn't feel real. Like, I've always been praying for times like this, but now that I'm here,
Right.
I'm like, man, it's overwhelming. So,
Right, right. So you get this payout, and now we go in reverse a little bit.
mhm.
Okay, how does that start feeling?
So as I'm like getting a drawdown,
Yeah, after you get your payout, right? You get a fresh 100K again,
yeah,
and now it looks like you go negative like 5, 6%.
yeah.
So
So
how does that feel?
yeah, so how that felt, it was I kind of I don't know, because at the end of the day, whenever you are in drawdown like that, I in my mind I'm like I know I can, even if this account were to be blown, I can get it back. I can get another live account because I've done it already. I've
Right,
already done it. So at this point, yeah, I was a little bit stressed out, but I've been in this game for way too long to really be stressed out. I'm kind of numb to it. So it's like where I'm at right now. It's like at the end of the day, if I can get paid out twice and I can get a live account after 4 years of trading, I can definitely do it again.
right.
So
So it's kind of just that is in you now. Is after failing so many times, you eventually just get that confidence of what you've done.
hmm
Because obviously, I just got out of 8% drawdown plus 10% profit. I already know what I can do, right? Nobody can really tell me anything about myself anymore.
hmm
So is interesting to see. We've interviewed traders here before, and from -8 to 10% in 3 weeks with a brand new strategy. I don't think we've had that yet. And getting out of drawdown is such a different game than just trying to get a target.
right.
It's almost like a different psychology. So take us to your trading view. Let's see a little of your strategy of how you trade.
All right. So pretty much what this kind of entails, this is pretty much just like a candlestick pattern plus supply and demand. Anybody can
Okay.
really do this. This is honestly probably one of the easiest strategies that I've ever learned. When
We're
it comes,
still looking at your dashboard right now.
oh, my fault. So this is one of the easiest strategies that I've probably ever learned. Anybody can really do
Okay.
this.
So indices only now.
Yeah, indices. I started also backtesting oil. I want to get into
Okay.
oil as well, but right now it's just SPX and Nasdaq.
Okay. How long indices only? Have you been trading indices only?
I've been trading Nasdaq since 2020, but then I stopped it after 2022. And then I got into Forex for the whole of 2023 and a part of 2024. And then it was just like this summer when I got back on trading. Not this summer, sorry, in the winter when I got back into trading that.
Okay. How did it feel from taking a break from indices, going to forex, and coming back? Did it feel foreign? Did because it just moves so different. So I'm curious on how it felt coming back.
Yeah, it definitely did feel a little bit foreign because I just completely stopped looking at indices once I got onto Forex. But then getting back on, I'm like, okay, well, like we just gotta
Okay.
back test it. And so that's all we did was we have FX replay, and all we did was just back test every single day at work, on Sundays, weekends, every time, So
Okay. So
um,
SPX, Nasdaq only.
that's correct.
Okay. Okay. All right. Walk us through.
All right, so these past few weeks, couple weeks, it has not been going well. But I'm gonna go back to when I actually took out my second payout. I believe it was on Tuesday. Let's investigate. Let's see. I don't have premium on here, so just have to bear with me. Let's see. So what I typically do is that I always start on the 4 hour time frame. The 4 hour time frame is just showing me the general trend, and I draw this wedge just so I can contain price, and it's just the general trend. Are we pushing up? Are we making higher highs? Or are we making higher lows, lower highs, etc. And so in this case here, I can tell, okay, we made this low. We failed to make a lower low, and we now are starting to make newer highs. All right. And so in this case, I would most likely look for buy setups, knowing that the bulls are in control in this leg at least. I'm seeing more white candles than purple candles here. All right. And so after that, what I would do is that I would go into the hourly time frame. And so the hourly time frame is pretty much the we don't go into the 15 or the 5 until the hourly shows us what we need to see. And so
Okay.
what I need to see on the hourly time frame is that I need to see a candle that has a lot of volume. So, as everybody knows, the engulfing candle is one of the best candles to trade with, in my opinion. And so once price has printed out an engulfing candle, that's when I would get into a setup there. All right, and so let's see if I can find an example here from one of the times. Let's see, like right here. So we're gonna go on Tuesday, September the 10th. Okay, and so in this case here, we have price creating a bearish engulfing. So it has engulfed this previous bullish candle. So people always say it's the candle before it. In our system, it's going to be any adjacent or in proximal bullish candles or the opposite candle. It doesn't necessarily matter. So in this case here, this bearish candle has engulfed this bullish candle here. So now what I would do is go on the 15-minute time frame, right? Let's go back to Tuesday, the 10th. All right. And so in this case here, actually, sorry, let me go back on the hourly. So this was the 9 o'clock candle. Okay, so the 9 a.m. So now what I do is that I go from the 15 and I simply wait for a pullback. All right. And so I wait for a pullback, preferably after between 45 and 15. And so in this case, we got one here. And so I'll draw a line right below that candle there. The first pullback right here at 45. And then I would wait for another engulfing bearish candle. All right. And in this case, that's what happens right here. All right. At the 10:30. So now I'm good to go for a trade. So I go straight on the 5-minute time frame. And then I look for a supply, which would be right here. And then, obviously price didn't come back up to it. But in this case, if price were to have pushed up here, I would look for another engulfing candle or go aggressive. And then I would sell that down. I would sell that down to another low or to a session low or to a demand or something like that. But that's typically in an ideal setup, in an ideal world, I would want to see something like this happen. All right. But of course,
Okay.
it just sold off.
What's your risk to reward when you trade? Do you have a set risk to reward, or you kind of just feel it out?
So it depends. It actually depends on the setup, but I don't mind one-to-ones. I'll do a one-to-one, but typically average from our back testing stats, our average risk to reward has been 1 to 2s or 1 to 3s, but
Okay.
I don't mind a one-to-one.
Has it has that always been a common risk to reward in your trading journey, in your trading career?
I'd say so. Yes, it kind of has deviated from like 10 RR trades from a
Right,
previous
right,
mentor,
right,
15 RR trades, but I just don't like holding trades like that. I'd rather just hold it for like up to an hour and a half, and get out of there.
right, right. So, but you tried the super big RRs then. You gave that a shot before.
I did. Yep.
Okay. It just didn't work out. It wasn't for you.
It was not. It was crazy holding trades for that long.
Yeah, right. No, and that's one of the probably the biggest things that you learn from people, and you see this industry that you can learn from mentors, but sometimes you gotta tweak it your own way so it can work for you,
Mhm.
because it's that's a common theme now, right? The 5 R's, the 6 R's, the super tight stop loss. And so I was interested in if your current risk to reward from now is what it was before.
Is my current risk to route? Is it now? Is it the same as it was before?
Yeah, right.
Um, Before with the mentorship with the 15 RR, 10 RR, all that, not really no. Right now, it's just I'm keeping it simple. It's like that's the number one thing is just keeping trading simple. If you keep trading simple, then you'll stay in the game a lot longer than a lot of other people. But it's just that 1 to 1 between 1 to 1 to 1 to 3.
Okay. Nice. So you aside from being able to get payouts, right? Now you have this just confidence with your strategy, right? My strategy can get me out of these tough places. I've back tested it, right? So if what advice do you, with your current experience, brand new trader, friend, family member, whoever it is, what's the number one piece of advice you can give them if they decide to try and start trading?
Number one piece of advice. Okay, no one's ever asked me this question. All right. I think I would say the number one advice that I would give to people getting into trading, just know that this is not an easy industry. This is not easy. All right. And people think this is a get rich quick scheme, or people think this is a get money quick. It's really not, man. And like, you know, it could take you years. It could take you, 5, 4, 3 years. It could take someone 8 months. I've seen it happen in 8 months for somebody. But just all that matters is consistency. If you're consistent, if you wake up every day studying, if you wake up every day reviewing your trades, analyzing your trades, always seeking growth and progression in your trading style, refining it every day, chipping on the sword, then you will get there 100%. If you do not give up, and then if you know saying not to give up is the most cheesiest thing, but it's like it's true because you always find some sort of path. You always find some sort of route that works for you, and you just take it. You just run it. So
Right. Right. Well, Namdi, it was a pleasure speaking to you this evening.
sir,
It was a pleasure getting to know your story. You've inspired me, just as I know you inspire many other traders who get to see this interview. We're proud of you here at Instant Funding, your first interview. We definitely know we'll see you again. And best of luck on your journey. And we wish you the best.
thank you, Manuel. Appreciate it.
All right, brother. You have a good one.
You too, bro. Thank you.